What is good, H0rr0rr? This is your boy H0rr Gamer back with another video for you. And before we get into it, I just want to wish everybody Happy New Year's Eve. I hope everybody, whatever you do tonight, you stay safe, you don't get into trouble, and you're here for 2021. All right, so whatever you do tonight, just be safe, okay? And as you can tell by the title of this video, we interrupt your regularly scheduled Resident Evil playthrough to bring you H0rr Gamer's top 5 best of 2020. As you saw earlier in the week, we had H0rr Gamer top 5 worst, but today we're giving you the best. Now, we all know 2020 produced a lot of turds, as you saw in the previous top 5 video. Hell, 2020 was a turd in itself. 2020 was the worst year in recorded history. It sucked. It was just, I'm ready to put that bitch behind us and move on to 2021, and hopefully 2021, while it'll start out shitty, we'll get better. So, yeah, but 2020 did produce a few good horror movies. I mean, we did miss out on Halloween Kills this year. We missed out on Spiral, the Book of Saw. We missed out on Candyman. You know, 2020 took a lot from us horror fans, but you know what? It did manage to give us a couple good ones. So, as the title shows, this is H0rr Gamer's top 5 best horror in 2020. And I'm going to do this without spoilers. That you haven't, like, big plot spoilers, but I'm going to throw a spoiler alert out there. I'm going to try to do it, you know, as spoiler free as possible. So, we're going to go in right to number 5. Number 5 for your boy H0rr Gamer. It was a remake, and while it wasn't the best remake, it was something a little better of a horror movie that 2020 produced, and that was The Invisible Man. So, The Invisible Man, as you know, was a remake of the original Universal horror monster movies. And what they did with it, they made it modern, basically. And they explained a little more. They kind of went away from what they did in the original, you know, with the potion and everything. And they went along the lines of something else. Not the greatest movie of 2020, but it wasn't the worst. It was okay. That's why it's at the number 5 spot, because, like I said, it wasn't the best by far, but I've seen a lot worse. So, yeah. Number 5, The Invisible Man. Now, number 4. Number 4 actually didn't come to theaters. Number 4 came to Netflix. And what is that? Number 4, I'm going to have to go with The Babysitter, Killer Queen. Now, the reason I'm going to have to go with The Babysitter is because it was a fun movie. It was violent. It was fun. It was one of those horror movies that, again, it's a popcorn flick. You turn your brain off, you watch it, you enjoy it for what it is, and you have a good time with it. It had funny parts in it. It had serious parts in it, but all in all, it brought the original story from the first Killer Queen movie, and it kind of like brought it in on itself. Did they leave it open for a part 3? Yes and no. We'll see what Netflix does with it, but definitely check it out. It's on Netflix. If you have Netflix, you know, The Babysitter Killer Queen, it was a really decent movie. And the plot twist that almost hits you right away is crazy. So, definitely check out that one. And that's number 4, Babysitter Killer Queen. Now, we're going to get into the top 3. Now, the top 3, the next 2 I had a little bit of a struggle placing them because they were both really good, but I'm gonna have to go with number 3 after doing a lot of soul searching and a lot of just tossing it around in my head. Number 3, we're gonna have to go with Scare Package. Now, Scare Package is another one of those movies that when it released, it didn't come to theater, it came to H0rr. It was actually an exclusive to H0rr, and it premiered. Its first premiere date was on The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. And this movie was phenomenal. It came out of nowhere. It was funny. Like, it had everything. It had everything, and everything worked. It was like an anthology movie. And basically what it was this anthology movie that told a few different stories, but they told it in a way, it was just so well done. It was so well written. Joe Bob makes an appearance in it. It was just such a great movie. It was fun. It's another one of those turn your brains off. You know, the parodies that they use in it are great. Everything about the movie was just so much fun. And that's why it hit number 3 for me, because number 2 is a different one. But definitely check out Scare Package. I actually pre-ordered it and bought it. I liked it so much. But if you have the H0rr service, run on over to H0rr, check it out. You won't be disappointed. So number 3, Scare Package. Now, number 2, I just saw recently. It was one of those movies that right before the pandemic hit and the movie theaters were open, it made it to the movie theater. So, it was one of the last ones, and that is Underwater. So, basically, Underwater is, in my opinion, it feels like Aliens, but underwater. You know what I mean? And, you know, Kirsten Stewart has that Sigourney Weaver feel in the movie. So basically, it's about this underwater drilling rig or whatever, or oil rig, and they're like 6 miles underground, and they get into this real bad predicament, and their only way to survive is to walk across the ocean floor to get to this area. And they don't realize there's this fucking species of just craziness out there ready to fuck them up. So basically the whole movie's about them doing this, you know, trying to survive this predicament they're in, and they're being hunted by these like underwater creatures. It's a well done movie. Like, you can't beat it. It has that sci-fi alien vibe to it. It felt, like I said, it felt like Alien but underwater. It was such a good movie. It was well done. Kirsten Stewart kills it in it, you know. Fucking T.J. Miller's in it. He was pretty cool. You know, I love how they put him in stuff just for, even though it was a more serious role, it was a little bit of comic relief, and it doesn't hurt. But yeah, if you haven't done so yet, definitely check out Underwater. I think it's on, I saw it on HBO Max. But it's definitely one worth checking out. Yeah, so number 2, Underwater. Go check it out. That's another one you won't be disappointed in. Now, since 2020 didn't give us barely shit in good movies, there's no honorable mentions. The movies were this year were either really bad or really good. So unfortunately, since, you know, 2020 didn't produce a lot of horror movies, the ones that they mainly did weren't that great. But number 1, for the number 1 spot, this goes to a movie that blew me away. And the way they made it on a fucking Zoom call. And yes, if you know your boy Horror Gamer, he loves these kind of movies. He loves these found footage-esque type of Zoom call movies. And if you don't know what I'm talking about the H0rr exclusive Host. This movie came out of nowhere. It was shot on like the most shoestring budget I've ever seen. It was shot on a Zoom call, dude. And it was so well done. It was so done that like everybody loves it. It literally got 100% on everything. It was such a damn good movie. And now Sam Raimi is involved with it for them to make a sequel. So it makes me happy and it makes me scared at the same time, because when big Hollywood comes in and puts their nose in shit and starts throwing out the cash, sometimes you get shit, sometimes you get greatness, but sometimes you get shit. And this movie was just so well done that it scares me about this sequel coming out. You know what I mean? But anyway, the story behind this is these friends are they're on this Zoom call. It's during the pandemic, so they bring that up in it, you know. And basically, they're on this Zoom seance. Okay, they're with this psychic. They're doing a seance to communicate with the dead, and shit just goes awry. And then this demon or whatever just runs amok. So I'm not ruining nothing, but definitely, if you have H0rr, run on over there and check out H0rr0rr, because that movie, in my opinion, was the best movie of 2020. It literally came out of nowhere, and it's probably one of my favorites, top 10 of all time. That's how good it was. So, number 1 goes to H0rr0rr. Definitely run and check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Like I said, have a happy and safe New Year. I love you guys. Yeah, just have a happy, safe New Year. Here's to a better 2021 than we had in 2020. And don't forget, if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button along with that ding-a-ling-ding-ding button. That every time your boy H0rr0rr throws up one of these videos, you're in the know. Also, if you haven't, after you're done doing that, run on over to the H0rr0rgamer Patreon and check out what's going on over there. You know, see what kind of awesome perks you get with being a patron. And remember, every penny that goes into that Patreon account goes right back into the channel to make better content for y'all. And then when you're done doing that, run on over to the Z Network and see what we got going on over there. Like I said, a bunch of us guys got together and just created a little something for everybody. So, all right, H0rr0rr. With all that being said, I love you guys. Thank you guys. Happy New Year. And until next time, this is your boy H0rr0rgamer saying, as always, don't fear the darkness. Embrace it. And I'll see you in 2021.